Welcome to the Unfuck Your Fitness podcast. I am your host, Christy Castillo, and I'm here to give you real talk and cut the BS so you can actually enjoy building a body you love. I'm a personal trainer obsessed with giving you simple action steps to take you from feeling stuck to feeling sexy. Let's go. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's episode. Happy Friday if you're listening to this in real time on the day that it was launched and meant for you. I hope you have a great Friday. I hope you have a good weekend. I am popping in to talk to you today about being fully committed and how that helps you in your fitness journey. This was I saw this on a reel and it was not talking about your fitness journey, but I thought, wow, it was actually talking about business. And which honestly, finances, business, fitness, in my brain, they all very much work together. You need a plan, you need to commit, you need to stick with it, you need to execute, and you need to wait a really long time. You will not see the fruits of your labor the day you plant the seeds, right? So this was kind of said in a reel talking about business, where if you fully commit to making however many reels or, whatever it is, then, this is going to work, and fully commit to your audience and who you want to help, that this is going to work for you. But my brain immediately went to, it's the same thing for fitness. So this is kind of the way that I want to put this. It's only when you are fully committed to this new way of looking at fitness, unfucking your fitness, if you will. Let's call everything that I kind of talk about on here, we're unfucking your fitness. We're getting fit and we're making it simple, right? We're cutting out the BS. But all of these things is essentially, I'm unfucking it for you. I'm making it simple. You still have to do the things. You still have to believe in yourself. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of things that go into it, but it is pretty simple when you think about it. It's only when you are committed, all in, ready to go, that you realize you're going to succeed. Like, it's kind of as simple as that. When you have all the bits and pieces, if you're like, okay, Christy is saying to me that if I start tracking my food, it won't help all of my food issues, but if I start tracking my food, I will then understand where the problem lies, that I'm maybe overeating. Even though I say I'm not, if I'm tracking everything, I'm like, oh shit, I'm not really doing as good as I thought I was, right? And if I start lifting weights, I will gain muscle. So I will look differently. My body composition will change. If I do drink enough water, I will feel better. I will be healthier. My body will be happy. If I go to bed at a decent time and get a great amount of sleep instead of fucking around on my phone, I'll feel better. I'll be happy. My body will have more time to reset itself and do what it's supposed to do while it's sleeping, right? If I give it more time to sleep. I know none of this is really earth-shattering, but we need it. So if Christy's saying this is the plan, this is what she did, this is what works for her clients, we're not messing around, I'm not lying to you, right? Like, all these things will work. If you have a plan and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this for as long as it takes. I'm not just going to commit to this 30-day program. I'm going to do these things for as long as it takes until I understand it. I'm going to track my macros until I can see how long I've been eating too much, or I'm going to lift weights for as long as it takes for me to see muscle growth. I'm going to do as many banded pull-ups as it takes until one day I do my first non-assisted pull-up, right? Whatever it is, I'm just going to fully commit to this workout program. I'm going to fully commit to this lifestyle. I'm going to fully commit to whatever this fitness journey is. It doesn't even have to be a program. In fact, it should not be a program. It should just be all these habits. But when you fully commit to it, you realize you're going to succeed. You honestly have no choice, because now you've committed to the habits. It's like me last week saying, okay, I'm not going to eat. I did start tracking my food again, but it was more of a way to figure out what I'm currently eating, because currently, up until this week, I was saying yes to pretty much all the food, which is great, fine, fantastic. And I kind of needed it after being sick, and I needed to bulk up pretty quickly. I needed to grow some muscle. And then I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I'm kind of ready to scale back. So for me, it was like, I'm going to commit to hitting 10,000 steps daily, whether that means I take the dog for a walk, whether that means I get on the walking pad, whether that means I do circles around my island in my kitchen, like walk around on my deck, get up and take coaching calls and move, whatever it takes, however long I have to stay up and not go to bed, I'm going to hit 10,000 steps. No matter what, I'm fully committed, period. And then also I was like, well, I'm not going to buy Cadbury eggs this week. I'm going to cut out certain things. I'm just going to be more cautious of carbs, really, and say no to more of those and make them healthier. So instead of eating Cadbury eggs, I'm eating blueberries. Instead of eating a bowl of cereal for breakfast that maybe has like 7 grams of protein, I'm eating oatmeal that has 20 grams of protein. So just these little changes, right? But I'm committed to it. I know it's going to work. And by work, I mean, I know I'm going to feel better and I know I'm going to make these steps to getting back on track with my journey. I don't have necessarily an end result. I mean, yes, I'm working towards cutting, but these simple actions that I committed to this week, controlling my carbs and making healthier carb options and hitting 10,000 steps, I'm going to succeed because I freaking said that I would. Like I'm committed to it. It's not an option. I'm fully committed to getting 10,000 steps this week, regardless. So I have no choice but to do that. If I'm like, oh, I'm going to try to get 10,000 steps this week, I'm going to start trying to get 10,000 steps this week, and I'm going to still buy Cadbury eggs, but I'm going to try not to eat them. Do you hear the difference in my voice and by what that means? And if I'm saying to myself, well, I still have the Cadbury eggs in the house, but I'm not going to eat them. I'm going to eat blueberries. No, you're not. And I'm going to really try to get in 10,000 steps every day this week. But if it doesn't happen, it's fine. Like I have some busy days coming up, so it's not, may or may not happen, but I'm really going to try. As opposed to, no, I'm committed. I'm getting 10,000 steps in this week and I'm not buying Cadbury eggs. And if I do want a Cadbury egg, I have to put a blueberry in my mouth. Like, do you hear the difference? It's fully committed to the bit here. I'm fully committed to these actions. It's only when we're trying to figure out what program I'm going to do, what workout I'm going to do, how am I eating? Am I eating healthy? I think I'm eating healthy. I'm kind of getting around this many calories, but I still kind of go out to eat sometimes, so I don't know exactly what my macros are. But yeah, I'm going to try to get my workouts in this week. I think I can, I don't know, I might still need to like cut some carbs, keto. I might still need to do a little bit of like intermittent fasting. Like, I don't know what's going to work for me. Like, I just don't know what's going to work for me. I understand I've been there. I'm also telling you it's going to work for you, but I understand the difference between being locked in, like, nope, I'm not doing intermittent fasting again. I'm not worrying about keto. I'm not cutting carbs in a not healthy way because I can never have them again. I'm not cutting out processed food. I'm not doing a 30-day challenge. I'm committed to X, Y, and Z, period. That's the difference. It's the disconnect is when you're like, I just don't know if I can do it. This program doesn't, I'm not able to get it in. Like I keep purchasing these programs and they're for 5 days a week and I can't do 5 days a week. Okay, well then delete 2 of them from your phone and do the other 3. It's not a big deal. Or stop buying programs that are 5 days a week if you can't do them, right? Stop committing to or saying you're going to or thinking about. Stop even considering 12,000 steps a day if you can't do it. I know I can hit 10,000 steps a day. I know that I can replace some snacking with healthier fruit options. That way it's still carbs. I'm really still getting the calories. I'm just cleaning it up. I know I can do that. If I were to say I'm going to hit 10,000 steps, not eat any sugar, hit 5 of my workouts this week, 5 days a week, and drink my water perfectly. If I were to say I'm going to do all of these things perfect this week, I would have failed. And I would have been like, oh, I really don't know if I can do that, but I'm going to try. Or I would have maybe even said to myself, I'm gonna, but I'm not really committed to, because in my head, I'm thinking, there's no way I'm going to get 5 workouts in this week. There's no way that I'm going to get 12,000 steps in this week. But when it's achievable and you've committed to it, there's no if. I just posted on my stories this morning. It was a video of me on the walking pad, and I'm like, it's a matter of when I'm going to get my steps in. I was walking before my client calls and stuff. I was doing podcast notes and I was doing them on my phone so that I could walk. And because I know like right now I'm recording, I have to stand still. I know on my client calls, I most of the time have to sit down and sit still. So I was like, okay, I have to get my workout in. That's going to be later, but I have to just hop on my treadmill, my walking pad, for 10, 15 minutes at a time today when I can. When I can, not if I can. Do you hear the difference? Okay. It's when I can. So start saying, I'm committed to these 2 things this week when I get them done, X, Y, and Z, right? I'll be proud of myself. I'll move on to something else. I'll add something into my routine. Not if. I'm not committing to things I can't achieve. It's a when. It's when I can do these things. But I think there's so much power in that. You will achieve success by committing to something. And stop comparing and stop looking at your friends and wondering, should I do intermittent fasting? I mean, I did it again and I dropped a couple pounds, but I also gained 10 back afterwards, right? Didn't really work for me, but it's working for her. Like, should I do that? Should I do keto? Should I do Weight Watchers? Should I get on the shot? Should I? And you're just, God, always going around and around. Like, if this doesn't work, then what's next? What if this doesn't work? What if this isn't for me? What if I can't do this? Stop doing that. I know for myself, I don't want to get on the shots. I don't want to do keto. I don't want to do Weight Watchers. I don't want to cut out carbs. I don't want to do those things ever, unless medically necessary. Even then, I don't want to do them. So I'm fully committed to this other way of doing it. And unless something really drastically happens to me, I'm going to be committed to it forever. I committed to this unfucking your fitness way of doing things, the way that I do things, I'm committed to, and I've been committed to for a long time. If someone comes up to me and says, do you think this would work? Would you ever try this gimmick? Would you ever try this routine? Would you ever try X, Y, and Z? This app? Do you ever? No, I will not. I know exactly what workouts I like to do. I know I like to track my food on MyFitnessPal. I know I love my Aura Ring. I know how much water I need to drink. I know the exact water bottle I like to drink it out of. I know what walking pad I like. I know what gym gloves I like. I know I'm committed to it. If a company reaches out to me and says, hey, would you like to rep our brand? No, I don't want to rep your brand. I already have one that I love. Would you like to try out X, Y, and Z? No, I don't. Would you ever do intermittent fasting again? No, unless it's medically necessary. I'm not doing that again. I'm committed to what I'm doing. A lot of you out there listening are not. And I need you to start committing to what you're doing. A lot of you were like, oh, I did it for a couple weeks and it's kind of working, but it's kind of not. And so I, went off track for the weekend. Stop going off track. Plan in your days so that you don't have to go quote unquote off track. It's part of the plan. If you have to go off track from your calories and consume 300 extra calories every day of the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're just like, fuck it, having drinks and pizza, plan it in. And if it matches with your calories, then it's fine. If it's not matching within your calories, then give it up. You're not committed. So it's like cut season. It's this fitness way of life. It's your lifestyle. Are you committed to it or are you not? If you can't be committed to not drinking, not going out for pizza, not hanging out with your friends, things like that, you don't have to do it forever. But if you're not committed for a little bit, if you're like, for 12 weeks, I'm in a cut phase. I can't have drinks. I can't go out for pizza. I can't hang out with my friends at the bar because then I'll want to eat things that I said I wasn't going to eat. And I'm committed. You have to start committing to something. That's a lot of the problem. Not committing to something and quitting, they're linked. Obviously, you see that. If you're quitting something, you weren't committed to it. Those are the two main issues. That lack of consistency. If you're committed and you're never going to quit, you'll find a way to make it work. You'll find a way to fit it in. You'll find a way to be consistent. If not, you're quit. And then you shouldn't have committed to it in the first place, because if you can't commit to doing 10,000 steps a day, commit to 8, commit to 6,000, commit to something that you can commit to, because it feels good to say, no, I'm doing this. And if I'm your coach and you're out there listening, you can text me and be like, hey, I hit my step goal this week. I did such a good job. I said I was going to do it and I did it. I pre-tracked my food this week. I said I was going to track all my food for the week in MyFitnessPal. Yeah, I had to edit it, of course. But you pre-tracked all your staples. You got it in there. You got in the habit. You committed to doing that and you did it. It feels really good. And you'll start to see results and you'll understand that that is where the magic happens. But the longer you stay in this limbo of, I don't know if it's going to work for me. And if it doesn't, I'll have this plan B. There needs to be no plan B. You're not going back to any of those things. Throw away the DVDs, unfollow the people, Get rid of the gimmicky shit that you have in your house. Get rid of those supplements that don't work. You don't need them, right? But if you are fully committed and you have no questions about it and you have a plan and you have a path, you have a podcast to listen to, you have a trainer to go to, you understand, you can just search in the Unfuck Your Fitness search bar for motivation, for macros, for whatever you need to look for, you can search for it. You can stay locked in and there's no reason to sway because you've committed and you've got this. So that is my pep talk for you on this sweet, short, spicy episode because, I heard this and thought, I do need to do that for my business and I'm doing so much better at committing to that because there are a lot of shiny objects out there in fitness and in business and in life and parenting and in all the things. But I thought, I do need to do that in my business for sure. And I did make lists and I went through things that I need to clean up. But in your fitness, if you can commit and stay locked in, you will succeed because you have no other choice. There's no other way that you can't, right? If you do this, then you do this. That's it. If you do this, it works. If you do it half-assed, it works half-assed. If you commit to it Monday through Thursday and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which that means you're only being good on track one day more than you're not, it's kind of a 50-50 at that point. It sucks. Stop doing that. So commit. And then you won't quit. If you commit, you can't quit. So commit to something that you actually can stick to. You can tweak it, but make a commitment and get everything else out of your head. That's where the confidence comes from. That's how you're like, oh, I can't fail at this because I'm committed. I know exactly what I'm doing and I'm doing it. And I'm gaining confidence. Like I'm a badass. I finally committed to something. I finally am doing it. I'm doing it. Keeping promises to myself. This is how it works. Then you're confident. You're like, I don't need any of that other stuff. That's why when people come to me and ask me if I can rep this or rep that, or if I'd like to try this, I can confidently say, no, I don't need it. I'm doing fine with what I'm doing. I don't need anything else to take my money, to take my time. I don't need it. I don't care. It's a no. And that's what I want for you. So I hope you enjoyed this little pep talk. Figure out what you're going to commit to today and do it. And you have no other choice but to succeed. I'll talk to you in the next episode.
Thanks for listening to today's show. Go ahead and leave a rating and a review. And of course, follow the podcast so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And I would love it so much if you came to connect with me over on Instagram at Christy Castillo Fit. I will see you next time.